Again, my name is Rick Adams. I'm with Service Employees International Union, SEIU. SEIU is the second largest union in the nation. We have over 2.2 million members, and SEIU is committed to getting immigration reform passed this year. One example, in metropolitan New York, 54% of all guards, cleaning and building service workers, 60% of dental assistants, health and nursing aides, and 54% of food service workers are immigrants. These are the kind of people that our union represents. Obviously, that's why we're intimately involved in reforming immigration. And where we have a case of illegal immigrants being paid under the table, the blind economy, it has a big drawdown on the ability of our union to negotiate higher wages, living wages for the people who perform these jobs. But immigration also is a foreteller of economic growth. In a study from 1990 to 2006 in metropolitan Atlanta, experienced the biggest growth in immigrant share of the labor force, and at the same time had the fastest growing overall economy. And by contrast, that same period in Philadelphia, one of the 5 largest metro areas in the East, Philadelphia experienced the slowest growth and had the slowest growth of immigrant workers. So we're seeing if immigrant workers aren't there, the economy's not doing well. And if immigrant workers are there, the economy's doing well. So economically, there's great strong reason to get immigration correct. It's going to have an impact on everyone who's not an immigrant in this country. And that's why SEIU is strongly involved, and we hope to continue our support.
I'm RosAnn from the Northwestern Pennsylvania Area Labor Federation, and that's a district level of the AFL-CIO. As such, I have the privilege of bringing to you a statement from the National AFL-CIO President, Richard Trumka, and his statement that he issued on December 15th of 2009 on immigration. So I'd just like to read this to you verbatim, just to make sure I don't misquote the gentleman. It says, America's workers commend Congressman Gutierrez, and I hope I pronounced that correctly, because I'm not sure, his hard work and dedication in crafting a comprehensive immigration proposal that promotes workers' rights. A sensible approach to immigration reform that protects the interests of all workers is long overdue. The current system strips workers of their rights on the job, robs them of wages, and endangers their lives with unsafe working conditions. It also penalizes law-abiding businesses for forcing them into unfair competition with companies who violate workers' rights for profit, and then use the immigration status to avoid penalties and prosecution. Earlier this year, the labor movement put forth a comprehensive framework for reform based on 5 interconnected pieces: an independent commission to assess and manage future flows based on labor market shortages that are determined on the basis of actual need, a secure and effective worker authorization mechanism, rational operational control at the borders, adjustment of status for the current undocumented population, and improvement, not expansion, of the temporary worker programs like the H-1B and H-2B programs, limited to temporary or seasonal, not permanent jobs. We commend Congressman Gutierrez's leadership for including these key elements in the framework of his legislation. Effective immigration reform must provide an inclusive and effective path for undocumented immigrants to come forward and regularize their status. This is fundamental to our ability to crack down on employers who use unauthorized workers to drive down wages and benefits. One of the greatest failures of our current employment-based immigration system is that it uses arbitrary caps based on political compromises and not the needs of the labor market. Determining the number of workers who come into the United States labor market should be done by an independent commission that assesses the needs on an ongoing basis and reflects the consideration of all key stakeholders. The AFL-CIO has a long history of working with Congress to reform, not expand, existing temporary worker programs to stop the exploitation of workers and safeguard standards impacted industries. We look forward to continuing this work to pass comprehensive immigration reform that will protect workers' rights.